Okay, module 3 consists of three concepts. One is steering, second is the suspension, and third is the ignition systems. Okay, so steering, suspension, and ignition, we have to study about three. See, in module 1, we have studied about basic components of an automobile and in detail about the various components of an IC engine. Okay, then some of the supporting structures for IC engine like lubrication, cooling. In module 2, we have studied about brakes. Now we will be studying about steering, suspension, and ignition systems. So first we will start with the steering systems. Under steering systems, we have to study the steering geometry. There are some important angles like camber, caster, etc. Kingpin inclination. So we have to study the definition and what are the different types of steering boxes. Okay, steering gearbox. What is the difference between manual steering and power steering? We have to study. Now, so before starting, what do you mean by steering system? It is the term applied to the collection of components and linkages which allow a vehicle to move in the desired direction. So this steering system is a set of components, okay, which will allow the vehicle to move in a desired direction. So it is the most simple definition. As you all know, without steering system, you cannot imagine to drive the vehicle. Correct? So it will help you in moving the vehicle in the desired direction. Right. So an automobile is steered with the help of steering gears, linkages, okay, etc., which transfer the motion of the hand-operated steering. So hand you'll operate the hand by your hand, the steering wheel. So accordingly, the front wheels will be turning in the similar direction. Okay. What are the main functions of steering system? This is the most common question that we can expect in the exam. One second, please. Okay, what are the main functions of a steering system? Somebody is trying to join. One second. Right. Number one, it helps in turning the wheels to left or right. Okay, the first thing is it helps in turning the wheels in the desired direction in general. It converts the rotary movement of the steering wheel into angular turn of the front wheels. Whatever the rotary motion we give to the steering wheel, that will be converted to angular motion of the front wheels. Okay, it multiplies the driver effort many times. Okay, in order to reduce the.
ಬಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ವರ್ಕೌಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ನಿನ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನನಗೆ ಏನಾರ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಮುಂಜಾನೆ
ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ದು ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಸರ್.
Just 1 minute, I'll join back. See, this is the problem. First, I allowed that Sagar. Okay, he has unmuted and he is talking. That is what I told. I'm planning to remove out of Teams. Okay, now he is telling sorry. Okay, so we'll move back. Functions of steering system. Point number 1, it helps in turning the wheels in the desired direction. So this is the first and foremost. It is the major function of the steering system. It converts the rotary moment of the steering wheel into angular turn of the front wheels. Okay, any small rotary moment given to the steering wheel, it will be converted to the angular turn of the front wheels. It multiplies the driver effort many times. A small amount of turn given to the steering wheel, it will be multiplied many times. Okay, so that with a small effort, the required amount of turn can be taken. And the fourth point is the most important one. It absorbs the major part of the shocks from the roads. If there may be potholes or irregularities in road. So whatever shocks that the wheels are facing, if it is directly transmitted to the steering system, the arms of the driver get stressed. Over a period of time, he will not be able to drive. He will feel more tired. So that there should be some shock absorbing mechanism wherein the steering wheel should not vibrate when there are any irregularities in the road. Okay, so these are the main functions of a steering system. Please make a note of it. Please make a note.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
So far we have studied the definition of steering system. Okay, and second is what are the functions of steering. Now we have to study about the steering geometry. There are 5 important angles to be studied. Number 1 is camber, second is the caster, third is kingpin inclination, the fourth is combined angle and scrub radius, and the fifth is toe in or toe out. Now we have to see the definitions of all these 5 important steering geometries. Please make a note of it. Okay, so we'll start with the first one, that is the camber. Okay, so camber is the inward or outward tilt of the wheel when compared with a true vertical line. Okay, so when you compare with the true vertical line, I'll just show you with the help of a rough sketch. So say assume that this is the wheel of your car. This is the vertical line. We call this as the axle, which carries two wheels of the car. Okay, so these are the vertical lines, vertical axis of the wheel. Okay, I have considered 2 front wheels. Okay, this is the axle which carries the wheels, right? So camber is the inward or outward tilt of the wheel when compared with the true vertical line. So this is the vertical line, or we call it as the true vertical line. The inward or outward tilt of this wheel with respect to vertical line, we call it as camber. Okay. See, if you have any doubts, please you can stop and ask me. So either inward tilt. So this is called as inward tilt, and this is called as the outward tilt. Okay. So this is the inward tilt moving inward, and this is the outward tilt. So this angle can be set. You can tilt the wheel. Okay. So how do you do it? Wheel alignment. There is a term called as wheel alignment. When you give your vehicle for service, usually alignment will be done. Right. Okay, this is what they do in the alignment. So they will tilt and lock the wheel at that position. See, usually this camber is positive when the top of the wheel is tilted out. That is, if this is the vertical line, if you tilt the wheel outside, that is, say for example, it comes somewhat like this. I'll just demonstrate with the help of a rough sketch. Then this will be the center axis line. Okay, between these two, there will be roughly 2 degrees. So if you tilt the wheel outwards, it is called as the positive camber. Similarly, if you tilt the wheel inwards, it is called as the negative camber. If it is straight, if you don't tilt, it is called as the zero camber, or it is called as vertical. So this is the zero position. If you tilt the wheel 2 degrees towards the outside, it is called as positive camber. If you tilt it inward, it is called as negative camber. If you don't tilt, it is called as zero camber. Okay. So usually front wheels will be given a small amount of positive camber. Okay. Why it should be given means, see, always this positive camber increases the stability of the vehicle. When the vehicle is moving straight, the stability of the vehicle will be increased, whereas the negative camber, that is tilting inward, will increase the stability of the vehicle during the cornering, when you turn the vehicle in the corners. So usually most of the times we drive the vehicle in the stable road, that is in the straight road. So usually a positive camber will be given to both the front wheels in order to assure the stability of the vehicle. Okay. So whatever it is, camber should not exceed 2 degrees. Maximum of 2 degrees camber should be given. Right. So I'll take up in this sketch, you can better understand. So this is the axle part, whatever I told you. This is the axle. This is the suspension of the vehicle. This is the actual wheel. Okay, this is the wheel. So this is the vertical line. So this is the vertical line. In this sketch, you can see the wheel is tilted outwards. Okay, there is an angle between the vertical line and the plus mark. So this is the angle. So this is the vertical line, and this is the actual axis of the wheel. The angle between them is called as the positive camber. Suppose if you tilt it inward, it is called as negative camber. Usually, according to what I have read, is usually in whatever cars we see, positive cambers will be kept. Why? Because most of the times we drive the vehicle in a stable road and we don't go at a very high speeds. Whereas in a racing cars, you can observe this kind of structure. Okay. In racing cars, usually it will be tilted outwards. Negative camber will be given. Why? Because at a very high speeds of 220, 250 km/h, suddenly they take a turn. Okay, when there is a curve. Okay, during racing, so the stability of vehicle required at that such turns is very important, rather than the straight stability. So usually in racing cars we can find this concept. Otherwise, in the regular cars, only positive camber will be given. If there are any queries, you can ask me, please. Let us move slowly because these are a bit technical terms. If you understand, it will be very much easier. If you try to mug up, it will be really difficult.
Sir, once again, can you explain, sir? Network,
Shall I repeat once again?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, assume this as the tire of your vehicle. See, in this sketch, you can see here, this will be the straight position. Okay. So this we call it as the vertical line. When the wheel is straight, this will be the vertical line, or we call it as the zero position. If you tilt the wheel towards outside, see, this is the axle. There will be one more wheel here. Correct. Any tilting between this, we call it as tilting inward towards the vehicle. If you tilt it outside, it is called as outwards, away from the vehicle. If you tilt the wheel away from the vehicle and lock it at this point, then the angle between the vertical line and the axis of the tire, we call it as positive camber, right? If you tilt the wheel, see, this is the again same zero line, whatever we saw here. If you tilt the wheel, okay, towards inside and lock it, okay, then this is the tire axis. If you tilt the wheel and lock it here, this is called as the negative camber. See, actually it will be very small value, it will be 2 degrees. By direct visual inspection you cannot find it out, okay. So here what we have done in animation is it is shown more because to make you understand. Actually in your car there will be 1 to 2 degrees of tilt, but you cannot directly notice with the help of visual inspection. So this adjustment will be usually done during wheel alignment, okay. Usually positive camber is given in order to ensure the vehicle stability during straight forward motion when you are moving in a straight road. Negative camber is given in order to assure the stability when the vehicle is moving through a curve, right? Usually in whatever normal vehicles we see, small amount of positive camber will be given. Only in racing vehicles at high speed there will be curves, okay, turn taking, so that then negative camber will be given, and that negative camber will also be more than 2 degrees. Okay, in some of the racing vehicles, you can clearly identify with the help just by visual inspection that the wheels will be tilted outside like this. Yeah, so in this also you can clearly see when the wheel is straight. So this is the zero axis. When it is tilted in, this will be the axis. So this is negative camber. When this is tilted out, this is the positive camber. So in general, you can define camber is the angle of the tire in relation to the road surface. Okay, this is the road surface. Okay, this is the vertical line. With respect to the vertical line, whatever your wheel axis makes an angle, that is called as camber. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Are you
ಆದ್ರೆ
understanding?
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ vehicles ಅಲ್ಲಿ like as I've noticed in Mahindra, Scorpio, and some SUV vehicles, positive chamber ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ tires will be inside. If like directly also if we
If it is
check
inside,
ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ
it is
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
called as
ಒಳಗಡೆ
negative
ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
camber.
The thing on made ಅಂದ್ರೆ the car will be made only like that, sir. But ಆವಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇರುತ್ತಾ ಅಥವಾ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇರೆ ಡಿಗ್ರೀಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತಾ ಸರ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ?
ಇಲ್ಲ
Because as I have seen in Scorpios, wheels will be little inside comparatively to other
see, I am
vehicles.
not talking of wheels being inside from the structure of the car or so. I am talking of the axis.
Whatever it is.
I am talking of axis. What you are telling is the wheels will be outside according to you. If you use a larger diameter
Yes,
wheel base, definitely that will be outside. We are not talking of the size of this or radius of the tire. We are talking of the angle with respect to the vertical direction. This you cannot identify with your visual inspection or naked eye. What you are talking
Okay.
is about the
Understood,
wheel
sir.
base or wheel radii. Okay, you can use a larger wheel radii in some of the vehicles like multi-utility vehicles like Scorpio. A larger wheel base will be used so that you can see the wheel outside that of the structure. I am not talking of the wheel base. This is the angle with respect to the vertical direction.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
What you are telling is about the wheel base. Wheel ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. Wheel will be outside that of the structure, you can identify. We are not talking of that. We are talking of the angle with respect to the vertical direction. Okay, so this usually you cannot find out with the naked eye. Only when you take a report of the vehicle, that is when they do the wheel alignment, you can see plus 4 degrees, plus 3 degrees, plus 0.4 degrees, like this they will be giving camber, caster, etc. There you can find out with the help of sensors. So the second thing is the caster. Better you take down, we will go very slowly, especially until we finish these angles. 4 to 5 angles are there. Please make a note. See, in the exam, while answering this, you have to represent with the help of a sketch. You can take down this rough sketch also. Next, caster. Please take down this. Please make a note. See, earlier, is it audible?
Yes, sir. It's audible.
Okay. So earlier we discussed about the camber. In general, camber is the inward or outward tilting of the wheel with respect to the vertical axis. The caster is the forward or backward tilting of the steering axis when compared to the vertical line. Either you will be moving, see, we were talking of left or right tilt. Now it is front or back tilt. right? So caster is positive if the axis is leaning backward. Caster is negative if the axis is leaning forward. Okay, so it is 0 when the steering axis is with respect to the vertical axis. Usually caster will be given up to 3 degrees. Okay, it gives a better result. Most of the vehicles have a small amount of positive caster. Okay, that is the wheel axis will be retarded by 3 degrees. Okay, caster gives the front wheels the ability to return to why this caster is required is the next question. Next time when you drive your car, just make a note. When you turn the car in a curve, just leave the steering wheel free. It comes back to its original position by itself. You need not put any effort. This coming back happens only because of the caster angle that we have given. Okay, also it gives the directional stability. Okay, so in some vehicles, what happens when the wheel is released from a turn, there will be rapid coming back, which will cause the vehicle to upset. In such cases, one more a damper will be produced. With the help of the sketch, you can understand very easily. See, if this is your car, if this is the vertical axis of your car, if you tilt the steering axis, this is the steering axis. Okay, backward it is forward it is called as positive. If you tilt it backward, it is called as the negative caster. So if you tilt it towards the outside, it is called as the camber, positive camber. If you tilt it inside, it is called as the negative camber. Okay, you can just make a note of it. In some cases, damper will be used in order to reduce the effect of this caster. Please make a note. See, if they ask you to explain any of the angles with the help of a rough sketch only, you have to represent it. Okay, you can take down this sketch.